Hey guys, this is not a live reaction. I did record a live reaction to this, but I felt I was missing too much context on some cards because honestly, I haven't really paid much attention to this TCG format in particular, so I wasn't really aware of like the nitty gritty of things. And more importantly, I was out of power for 83 hours and 5 minutes because Hurricane Fiona was really bad. It's There's still tons of damage everywhere in Prince Edward Island and Newfoundland Labrador, and there's still parts of New Brunswick and Nova Scotia are out of power. It was a mess. That is easily the worst hurricane to ever strike my area ever since I've been alive. So, worst storm I've ever seen. Like, fuck. Anyways, enough of my problems. I'm instead of a live reaction, I'm going to discuss the hits, and I will tell you how I feel about these. So this is going to be active October 3rd, so next week. So let's look over this. So first up, the first band was Fairy Tale Snow. I very much approve of this. I was glad this got banned, but I wasn't really aware of why this was banned now, like banned again. But turns out that Tears actually run Snow, and I should have realized this because, Tears is all about milling themselves and fusion summon shenanigans, so should have been included on that. But yeah, Fairy Tale Snow should have never come back. I don't know why they brought Snow back a few lists ago. I thought that was a mistake, and yeah, this is why, because any deck that loves milling a bunch of things in the graveyard obviously are going to love Snow. Like, Snow does so fucking much. It's crazy. So, thank God Snow is gone. Like, I love this card, but it's broken. It's fucking broken. So, fuck Snow. I'm glad she's gone. Next up is Rodentoden getting banned. So, there were really two ways to tackle the frog part of Splites. It was either going to be ban Totally Awesome or ban Rodentoden. So they banned Rodentoden instead. I think that's interesting. TCG probably likes Totally Awesome. They probably don't mind that card being played with like gimmicky Bahamut Shark shenanigans. They probably don't hate the card, but they sure as hell hate the card that makes Totally Awesome very easy to pull off, which is Rodentoden. Rodentoden has been a problem card for many, many years. It was used in Frog FTK because this was really the way you do your FTK, is play Substitute, dump your entire deck, and then use Rodentoden to revive itself many, many times, and tribute the Rodentoden each time for Mass Driver, so that's why Mass Driver got banned and Substitute, and Rodentoden continued to be a problem with Paleozoics because that could assemble Totally Awesome and really anything you needed at that time. And obviously, Rodentoden is a problem with Splites as well. So I am not at all surprised that Rodentoden is banned. So, yeah. I'm not opposed to this change. I mean, that means Paleozoics is still very much playable. Well, albeit it's a little slower now. And Splites frog part of things has been weakened. So I think this was a good hit. And, of course, here's the big one. Crystron Helki Fibrax got banned. Honestly, it's been 3 years since the TCG got this card, and this was long overdue. I don't know what the hell they were doing with this card still being active for so fucking long. Like, it boggles my mind that it took until Splite for this card to be banned. Like, motherfucker, this card should have been banned formats ago. Like, long ass time ago. There were all kinds of combo decks that were abusing the shit out of Helki Fibrax, and let me remind you, Helki Fibrax can assemble Selene with Effect Veiler, and then you use Selene to bring back Effect Veiler and then make Access Code. Like, that was an easy fucking OTK that so many decks could easily make. Like, it's stupid. And Helki Fibrax, of course, could also make bullshit with Sight, with Artifact Sight, because it can combo off with fucking Dagda, and then you use the Helki Fibrax to bring out Wonder Magician. So, yeah. So now Helki Fibrax is banned in all fucking regions. It's banned in the OCG, it's banned in Master Duel, and now it's banned here. Good fucking riddance. I love this card, but let's be real, this card is not fair in the slightest. It is unbalanced as fuck. So it should have been banned eons ago. And then we have Chaos Ruler, the Chaotic Magical Dragon getting banned. This is a good one. This is actually a pretty good one. A lot of people are probably confused, but honestly, this card has got to go. It's a generic level 8 synchro that can mill 5 cards, and then you can bring back one light or dark monster from among the mill cards back to your hand. And you can also fucking like bring back this card from the graveyard later by banishing a dark and light monster. Mind you, you don't get the mill if you do this because it's only on Synchro Summon, but still. Chaos Ruler is fucking crazy. Like, the card selection you get out of it and the graveyard setups you get with it as well. Fucking bullshit. Like, it's also generic. Like, what the hell? This should have never been generic. I don't know what they were thinking with that. Chaos Ruler honestly had to fucking go. I'm surprised they're doing it right now. But honestly, considering that we have a deck that's all about milling itself, and we're about to get another one in the future, yeah, Chaos Ruler has got to go. I'm fine with that. And then we have Red Reboot getting banned, so this one's a surprise, but honestly, thinking about it, it makes sense. The TCG obviously wants trap-heavy decks to sell, and obviously Red Reboot is throws a whole wrench into the whole thing, because trap-heavy decks die to Red Reboot easily. Lich dies to it, fucking Labyrinth dies to it, Trap Tricks dies to it, Paleos dies to it, like so many things dies to it. And because it's a counter trap, that means your usual negates can't tackle this fucking card. So you need to use your Solemns just to stop Red Reboot, which is crazy. But yeah, Red Reboot, once it resolves, the player who resolved it basically wins the fucking game. So yeah, kind of has the same problem as Vanity's Emptiness, Imperial Orders, and other cards like that. So Red Reboot getting banned makes perfect sense, especially if they want to make sure that traps matter. So, I'm fine with this getting banned. And then we have seen the Cloak going from 0 to 1, which, yeah, makes sense. Helki Firebrax is gone, so this card is not a problem anymore. This can absolutely go to 3, just to promote Black Wings that we're going to be getting soon. Cyberjar going from 0 to 1. Honestly, I kind of saw this coming years ago. This was definitely going to happen sooner or later. Cyberjar is not a big deal anymore. Yeah, it's a mass nuke, but your opponent gets a bunch of free cards and free stuff, and so do you, but it is really hard to manipulate Cyberjar in a way that it benefits you more than your opponent. It is not that easy, especially given the sluggishness of the effect. So, Cyberjar at 1, I'm totally fine with that. I don't think it's going to do much of anything in this meta. I could be wrong, but considering the meta right now, I have doubts. And then, of course, Mecha Fanabeast Align goes from 0 to 1. I mean, Helki Firebrax is gone, and Aurodon's also banned. It was banned on the last list. So, Align coming back makes total sense. This will do absolutely fucking nothing at all. This can absolutely go to 3 next list. And then we have Substitute going from 0 to 1. I mean, Rotone's gone, so I am very curious what people are going to do with this now. Like, you can still mass mill your deck, but what's next? Like, what's the follow-up move? So, Rotone's gone, so I am curious what people are going to do to break this card open. I'm very, very curious what people are going to find, like, what crazy plays people are going to find with Substitute back. So, that's what I'm curious about. Then Spellbook Judgment came from 0 to 1, so Spellbook Judgment was back in the OCG and Master Duel, so this was, honestly, this doesn't surprise me. This was kind of coming. So, Spellbook Judgment Spellbooks are definitely going to be a thing again, because they can do Jowgen Lock. So that's going to be an interesting meta deck for the TCG, especially since a certain card didn't get banned at all, but I don't know if they're going to play that, but we'll see. Spellbook Judgment 1, very interesting. It's been banned for, I believe, 9 years now, so yeah. And Appointed Red Lotus got limited. This was a card that was really good for many years, but most players didn't care about it for some reason, despite the fact that it's insanely busted. Honestly, this card getting hit does not, like, it surprised me they actually did something about this card, but I'm not surprised, because this card is super stupid. Like, this card basically rips any board break, like, any scary board breaker card from your opponent's hand, and also gives you hand knowledge of your opponent's hand as well, in the cost of paying 2,000 life points and revealing your hand. But most of the decks that were actually able to play this didn't fucking care. They were able to yoink a card they didn't want to see and win the game that way. So, yeah, this yoinks fucking Dark Ruler no more. This gets rid of Lightning Storms. This gets rid of Forbidden Droplet. It gets rid of so many fucking things. Like, oh, I mean, yeah, they could chain Forbidden Droplet to it, but that means they're forced to activate it now. So, yeah. A point of Red Lotus is, and even then, even if there are no like board breaking cards, you can still snipe a card that they need to start, making their board and whatever. So that screws them over too. So a point of Red Lotus going to 1 makes total sense. That means they can't trap trick it, which is good. They obviously want trap decks to sell like Labyrinth, but they don't want this at 3 with that in mind. So they could have brought back, like, Trap Dust Shoot, but they were probably unlimiting way too many cards at once, so probably on the next list. I wouldn't be surprised if Trap Dust Shoot is next, going from 0 to 1. Alright, and there were no changes with the semi-limited list, so on the unlimited list, we had Dynamite Knight, the true Draco Fighter, coming back from 2 to 3. Honestly, this is good. It would be lovely if Masterpiece came back to 1 just to counteract the fucking meta, but I'm not holding my breath on that. So this going to 3 makes total sense. I'm perfectly cool with that. Benton going to 3 is a little scary because they still have Diviner of the Heralds at 3. And while there's no Eva, there's still some really wacky things you can do with Benton. So I'm curious what people are going to do with that. Suiting Riser Dragon going from 1 to 3. This limit was so fucking pointless. The whole reason this was hit was because Helki Fibrax was able to abuse it. But putting it at 1 didn't solve the issue at all because players were already on 1 copy anyways. So it should have been banned if that was the problem. So, yeah. This was super pointless, so putting this at 3 makes sense, especially with Helki Fibrax gone. Fusion Destiny going from 2 to 3. That's a little scary. Like, yeah, Velt is gone, thank God, but this at 3 makes this very consistent. So many decks that would love to have easy access to DPE now can play Fusion Destiny because it's at 3. So that's a little scary. So that's something we have to watch out for. Nadir Servant going from 2 to 3, that kind of speaks volumes of how out of whack this meta has gotten to the point that Nadir Servant's not a problem anymore. Nadir Servant's still pretty good, but I don't know. Maybe they want this card to... They probably want Dogma shit to counteract the meta, so I wouldn't be surprised. Light Stage going from 2 to 3, this is a boost to Splight, but also really helps out Trick Stars, which haven't been relevant in so long, so... and the engine that this thing did, which was an easy link 2, that's not a big deal. That's not too crazy anymore. Maybe I'm underestimating the power of an instant link 2. Maybe I am, but Light Stage, fine. Splight can have it. I wouldn't be surprised if it gets hit again because of that. And Wall of Revealing Light going from 2 to 3. This is honestly a card that should have been at 3 ages ago. So this was long overdue. So let's talk about probably the most notable cards that were not hit on this list. Sight was not hit at all. To be fair, the Halakid Fibrax was part of the reason so many Sight locks were a thing. But there are probably still some combos that players could do to set up Sight lock. I don't remember how they would do it without access to Valt or Halki Fibrax. So I'm curious what people figure out. There's Artifact Sanctum, obviously, but I'm just talking about the Dagda combos. So I'm curious what people come up with for Dagda stuff. And obviously, Mystic Mine is still at 3. That card is probably never getting banned in this case. They're probably never hitting that card at all for whatever reason. The TCG folks have pretty much made it clear they have no problems with that card at all, despite the fact it can make games go on fucking forever. So, yeah, Mystic Mine is still around. So, I guess I'm going to be heading over to Edo Pro and maybe start playing that for the first time in a long while and actually remake my fucking Time Lord deck with Mystic Mine or Mystic Mine Burn even. I don't know. So, because Mystic Mine is still at 3, everybody's still going to be playing main decking Spell and Trap removal, obviously, just to counteract fucking Mystic Mine and all the usual gimmicks and stuff. And obviously, everybody's going to be on cards just to protect the Mystic Mine, all tricks like that. So, that's not super fun. This format's going to look like ass. It's going to look really ass. but I wouldn't know for sure. Anyways, that is it for me. Those are my thoughts on this new list, and I guess we're gonna be seeing a new one in the next couple of months. I don't know when, but I will see you all next time. Bye bye.